Okay, the next thing we did was we modified the cross-section workflow. Now this seems fairly minor, but this turns out to be a really big deal. And that is we've modified it to add the ability to create cross-section sheets from existing cross-section drawing models. So in the past, the cutting of cross-sections and the sheeting of cross-sections was one thing. Okay, it happened at the same time. The cross-sections were cut and they were sheeted. You can still do that, but we've also enabled the ability to separate those out. So let me show you what I mean by that. So I've got a project here, and I'm going to go in and lay out a few cross-section name boundaries. So we'll just start here at 36 naught. We'll go to 42 naught. We'll go every 100 feet. And we'll just lay out a few cross-section boundaries. And so there they are. It comes up, and you've got your drawing model. You've got your model names, and by the way, this is also a new enhancement that we'll come back to in a little bit and talk about. But notice here that it goes and it cuts the cross sections, right? So everybody's happy. Here's my drawing models. Now, what a lot of users are doing is they're going in and they're doing some handwork, in a lot of cases, some hand annotation on their cross sections, right? This is pretty typical for our users to do. So let's say as a user, I had done that, right? And everything is great. And then one day my project manager walks in and says, hey, I need to add some additional cross sections at some culvert locations. And now in previous releases, you went, oh no, right? But now you don't have to do that anymore. Watch what I'm doing here. I'm actually deleting the sheets, but I'm leaving those drawing models alone. Okay, I'm not getting rid of the drawing models. I'm just deleting the sheets. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a one-off. I'm just going to add a single name boundary by 2 points. I'm going to add it to that group, but I'm just putting a new one in there. Now notice I'm not going to create the sheet model. I'm just going to create the drawing model. In fact, let's change the name of this before we move. Let's change it to custom so that we can actually tell that this is the custom one that we created. So what it does, it's going to just create the drawing model, right? Didn't put it on a sheet because I said don't sheet it out. So it gets added to the list as a custom cross section. And so if I go back and look at my name boundary manager, you can see here I've got the 36, 37, 38, every 100 foot. And I've also got the 38 plus 55. Now, when I get ready to put them on sheets, I can say create cross-section sheets from the drawings. So it takes all those drawing models and it goes out and says, okay, I'll sheet them for you now. So again, remember when I did it up front, I did them both at the same time. This time I did them as a separate process. And so the beauty of this is the users didn't lose any of their work. So for example, if I go back into sheet 1, you can see those original drawing models where I did the annotation are, they weren't affected, right? They show up. I didn't have to get rid of them. But if I go to sheet 2, you can see my custom cross section was added in at the right place. And so this is something much more analogous to our legacy workflows that we had in the older products, something our users were much more comfortable with.